All right, so I just got an email from a prospective RPG Key customer, and she's on a Mac. She uses Adobe Camera Raw to edit her photos, and she wanted to know if the RPG Key supports ACR, which it has in the past, and it does, but it requires the use of the DIY tools. So let me walk you through how the RPG Keys could work with ACR. The first thing you'll need to know is that ACR is, in our eyes, part of Photoshop, and that's because the menu here up by the apple says Photoshop. So the first thing we can do is we can make a macro for each of the items that we see here. So zoom in, zoom out, fit pixels, actual pixels. We can make a macro for each of these ACR menu items, and so we'll start doing that right here. Okay. So we're going to select in the application menu Adobe Camera, Photoshop 5, because that's what we're using. And we're going to go to the menu actions, and we're going to hit scan. Okay. When we do that, RPG Keys activates ACR, and it makes a macro for each of the menu items that you see here. So if we go back to RPG Keys, let's see here. Let's look for the view. Let's look for zoom in. So let's see if it made a macro for zoom in. So we'll go back here and we'll go to zoom. And sure enough, there it is. Zoom in, zoom out. There's all the zoom functions. So that's the first way you can use your RPG key with ACR. The next way you can do it is you can map pixels. So you can say, okay, when I use ACR, I've always got it in the same location, okay? And it's always the same size on my screen. So I want to map, for example, the exposure thing. I want to hit a button on my RPG key and have it move my mouse to the brightness icon here, so that I can just kind of quickly do this, okay? So I can click my mouse and drag the slider. I know that seems kind of simple, but here's how you would do it. So you go to RPG Keys, you pick a key, like I'm going to do key 12. You're going to go to mouse click. You're going to select one click, X and Y location, and then you're going to hit capture tool, and you're going to move your mouse over here and leave it over the contrast tool. And you'll see that 3 seconds later, it populates this coordinate on your screen. Okay? So now I can go into ACR and I can hit that button on the, so my mouse is up here, but it just went over to the contrast, so I can now do this. So to give you an idea, let's do another one. So let's show you the speed. I'm going to do button 8. I'm going to do as exposure. So we're going to go mouse click, X and Y. So you'll see right now it says 0, 0. So we're going to say capture. We're going to go over here. All right. So there it is. So we've got button 8 as exposure and button 12 as contrast. So here's exposure. I'm ready to do exposure. Here's contrast. I'm ready to do contrast. Okay, so it allows you to be two-handed with your adjustments. All right, so let's do another thing. Let's see here. What's the list? This person wants to be able to do spot removal. So I'm not an ACR user, but I believe, let's have a look here. Gradient, adjustment brush, red eye, spot removal, so B. So let's go and let's make a macro on the RPG key for spot removal. So we're going to go down to RPG keys. We're going to say, okay, button 4. We're going to do mouse click. Let's have a look here. Mouse click. And we're going to go here. And we're going to wait for 4 seconds. And there it is. So now, we hit that button. It pulls up our mouse click. Okay? And so, you will have obviously set these to what you want, and you can do what you do. Other things that you can do in ACR with RPG keys are you can do the new button scan. So let's have a look here. Let's go back to this, and we'll say button actions, and we're going to scan this. So I'm going to scan. And so this made a macro for all of the buttons that it can find in ACR. The that gives you some ideas. Other things that we're working on is we're working on, you'll see when you right click on this photo, you've got the different percent signs for different views. We're working on a way that it's called a context menu to make macros there. But I think you're going to find that we can do pretty much everything you want in ACR with the new RPG keys at V7. All right, take care.